this guy's here to talk about a 13-year-old. Yeah, that's literally what I'm doing. It's so weird to say it like that because of the internet trends, but man, I don't remember the last time we've made a video about a guy who's 13 years old. We've had to have done it at some point. I feel like it's an inevitability. But today, speaking about inevitabilities, let's talk about guys that could become the face of NHL franchises to come. RJ Celebrini is making headlines. Right now, he is the top trending player on Elite Prospects. He is 13 years old, and he is a top prospect eligible for, let's do the math here, August 18th, 2012, eligible for the 2030 NHL Entry Draft. Now, RJ Celebrini has been on the up and up in terms of his overall prospect profile and in terms of his off-season training, because earlier this week, we had seen videos in Vancouver, British Columbia, of RJ Celebrini, that guy in red on the right side of the stanchion, practicing with his older brother Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith. Yeah, this is Rink 4, ASHL right there in the background. If you're in Vancouver, you know exactly where this is. But you've got RJ Celebrini participating in practice with literal NHL superstars in Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith. This is one of the many videos that has been posted about with RJ Celebrini in the mix. And hell, this ain't even the first time we've been looking at RJ Celebrini footage in general. There have been video clips of Celebrini doing his thing with what is the team that he was playing for? The North Shore Winter Club U15 team? The Western Selects? The Everett's Elites? RJ Celebrini, the fact that he's 13 years old means that there isn't really a lot of data available for him and his hockey playing career so far. But the season that he just had with the North Shore U15 A1 club saw him put up 148 points in 60 games played, 71 goals, 77 assists. If you take a look at the U15 A1 league in itself, yeah, RJ Celebrini was the top dog with the highest points per game, the highest goals, the highest points, and not the highest assists. He actually had a teammate that went out there and had more assists than he did. Shout out to Jordan Tash. If RJ Celebrini ends up becoming an NHL superstar, let's hope that Tash is right in there with him too. But either way, RJ Celebrini is a guy who has been making headlines for months, maybe not years. He's been very, very young, so maybe some of the highlights that we've been seeing out of this guy have only come out recently. But look at this dude in this tournament clip that was going around social media from July 2026, so just a few weeks ago. RJ Celebrini with that little toe drizzy draggy around the defender and then around the goalie. Oy, oy, oy. What a nice little play right there for the youngin'. Flyers. Okay, what is that Flyers team that he was playing for? Is there any Flyers on this page? It does not look like it. Oh, you got the Philadelphia Flyers right there. He also had this clip that was posted about of RJ Celebrini at the Quadrant Hockey Tournament, hitting a nasty move to help his 2012 Everest team to a championship. Look at him coming in on a breakaway. This time he fakes the shot, okay, goalie bites, quickly goes over to the backhand, and then just embarrasses that tendy as he buries a biscuit on the basket on the backhand. RJ Celebrini in that Everest Elites Quadrant Hockey Tournament for U14 players had 6 points in 7 games. Just look at the amount of points that this guy puts up. I mean, sure, the Brick Invitational, he only had 2 goals in 6 games over there, but it's the Brick Invitational. Not everybody that is super amazing has had an amazing Brick Invitational, although it is a pretty good indicator for future success, I would say. Also, that was 4 years ago, so RJ Celebrini was 9. We can forgive it for now. Either way, the fact that RJ has indeed been practicing and hanging out with his brother Will Smith his brother Macklin Celebrini, as well as Will Smith, has had some headlines get taken up now for a little bit. I mean, we are starting to talk about RJ Celebrini as a prospect and what he could become in 2030. Looking forward to him playing in the World Juniors in 3 years with exceptional status with those numbers. RJ Celebrini getting 148 points in U15A1. That's actually better than what Macklin was putting up at that age on the U14 Junior Sharks team. We're going to have to hope that RJ gets a good growth spurt, or is 5'3" tall for a 13-year-old boy already. We haven't ever really had boys in the family, and my interaction with kids these days is basically spending time with my grand sprog, and she's not quite 4. Yeah, so, we should have established that at the beginning. The reason RJ Celebrini looked so small in the video clip, with him in his red jersey standing there in the middle of the screen, is because he's 5'3", 115. Like, RJ Celebrini is the same height that I am. I've got a lot more pounds, though. Just saying. I'm not 115. But RJ Celebrini at 13 years old is quite the big dude, you can say. Some middle schoolers look like they could be 17 and some look 10. It's not tall, but right around there is when they start having growth spurts. 5'10 at 13, stopped at 6'7", 4'10 at Celebrini's age, ended up at 5'11". Yeah, I was 5'3 at 13, and then I was 5'3 at 26, so my height, personally, hasn't really gotten any taller, but that's okay. Anybody who's seen me in real life, they understand the vibe is the vibe. RJ will be draft eligible in 2030. Is the hype real with this kid? Seems to be pretty dang good. I'm no scout, but his shot looks really good in person at 13. Even Macklin says that RJ is the better player. Hopefully the Sharks aren't in a position to draft him when the time comes. I'm sure they'll have been improved by then, where it won't be possible. These two on the same team would be a nightmare for the rest of the league. But hey, Quinn and Jack said the same thing about Luke too. So we will see if RJ actually is as good or better than Macklin Celebrini. Now we also have to note as well, Macklin is all great and fine. Everybody understands that Macklin Celebrini is like Sidney Crosby 2.0, essentially. He is so damn good. But Aiden Celebrini is actually the oldest of the three, and at 21 years old, 6'1", 194, playing at Boston University this upcoming year, Aiden Celebrini is an unsigned Vancouver Canucks prospect. So if the Vancouver Canucks in 2030 are in a pretty good draft position, maybe there's a world where RJ Celebrini actually is an option for this team. And I'm also thinking about that gosh darn 2030 first that they got from the Rangers. Hey, if the Rangers absolutely stink and they use their protection for that 2030 first, then maybe there's an option Vancouver could take advantage of that and leverage what would have been a 2031 first unprotected for some sort of a deal. Or let's say the New York Rangers end up actually letting Vancouver have the 2030 pick. Maybe the Canucks are still bad at that time. They could trade up to get something in the RJ Celebrini draft range. We're seeing top picks get moved now, folks. 9th overall got moved for Brady Tkachuk. 4th overall got moved for Bowen Byram. Seems like draft picks are on the table. So for Vancouver, if RJ Celebrini is an available option in 2030, if the Canucks are in the appropriate range to target it, if he is as good or better than Macklin, I'd say it's a pretty good bet to go out there and make, don't you? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the #1 trending player on Elite Prospects right now, Macklin and Aiden Celebrini's 13-year-old brother RJ, who has been practicing with Will Smith and Macklin. And how do you feel about him and his overall profile heading into the next decade's worth of his career? It's weird talking about 13-year-olds, but it's a little less weird when they are as talented as this guy seems to be. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.